Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, the sacred relics of Sri Aurobindo was enshrined ceremoniously in the premises of Sri Aurobindo Yoga Mandir by Revered Champalal ji on 12th April 1988, and as usual, we were preparing for the celebration of the 36th anniversary today. But due to the most tragic global tragedy being faced today, we are unfortunate for not getting an opportunity to celebrate the occasion in the Yoga Mandir premises. However, we are having a celebration, confined ourselves to the premises of our houses with this means of communication. As regards the relevance of Rourkela and emergence of Sri Aurobindo Yoga Mandir, thereafter, I would like to place the relevant facts as follows. India is a country abundantly rich in mineral resources with other necessary factors for setting up of steel plants by properly utilizing the richly available resources with other facilities. Therefore, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, after assuming office of the Prime Minister in 1947, appointed a high-power committee to visit different locations in the country and identify suitable locations for setting up of steel plants in the country, which will not only benefit the country economically but also provide employment to innumerable unemployed youths. The committee, after visiting different locations and assessing suitability from all angles, finally selected 3 locations. That is Rourkela in Odisha, first position, followed by Bhilai in Madhya Pradesh and Durgapur in West Bengal. Rourkela, which was just a developed village under Panpo subdivision of the Sundargarh district, was very rich in mineral resources, that is iron ore in Baswa and Kalta belt in the southern side, limestone at Vidamitrapur on the northern side, and Vedab Vyasa, ancient ashram of Rishi Vyasadeva on the bank of rivulets Sank and Koel, which flows downwards as river Brahmani on the western side, and with tribal population all around, was considered by the expert committee to be the best site for setting up of a gigantic steel plant of 1 million capacity in collaboration with the Federal Republic of Germany. Thereafter, the Government of India took a decision to go ahead with the setting up of the first steel plant of the country under Republic sector. Accordingly, the foundation stone was laid sometime in 1953. The company's name was Hindustan Steel Private Limited, with its head office initially located in Delhi, but soon shifted to Calcutta for the sake of convenience. Thereafter, construction work in the plant location as well as in the township started in a vigorous way. In township, Sector 5 was constructed to accommodate the German experts, engineers and technicians. In Golghar area, hostels, barracks were constructed for accommodating other employees. Temporary bungalows were also constructed to accommodate officers and our engineers. The PM, Prime Minister Pandit Nehru, was very keen to see that the plant comes up at the earliest, so much so that he paid a visit to Rourkela in 1957 to see to himself the progress of work. In absence of air link, he travelled from Calcutta by a special train straight to the plant site and got down on a temporary platform specially constructed for the purpose. His two grandsons, Rajiv and Sanjoy, of about 8-10 years old at that time, clad in pitch white half pant and shirt, which is still fresh in my mind, got down from the train. After getting down from the train and acknowledging the ovation of the huge crowds gathered there, he was taken to the temporary guest house in Sector 5, Bangalore number 1, which is presently occupied by Central Excise Department. After about an hour, he went to plant site, had detailed inquiry about the progress and plan to accelerate construction. Had a meeting with the MD and other officers, engineers. In the evening, he addressed a public meeting at the Maidan near IGH, which was named after him after the meeting. Since then, spent overnight in the guest house and left on the next morning for Calcutta. A noteworthy picture is that Pandit Nehru was anguished to see the name of the company as Hindustan Steel Private Limited and asked the management to remove the word private immediately. Since our organization is in the public sector, accordingly, the relevant provision of the Companies Act was soon amended by the government and the company's name was changed to Hindustan Steel Limited. The work progressed very fast and the first blast furnace was ready in 1959, which was inaugurated by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the first president of India. At that stage, when the plant went into production, the government of Orissa deputed Mr. Amar Singh IS on deputation to RSP to look after the interest of Orissa and their people. Fortunately for us, he and his family were very sincere devotees of Sri Aurobindo and the mother, his family frequently visiting Pondicherry Ashram. It was he, Mr. Amar Singh, who was Deputy General Manager Personnel, first thought of having a mini Patachakra in building number 2 in Sector 4, where the Mohila Police Station Sector 4 is now functioning. Besides Mr. Amar Singh, there were two more employees, namely Sri Purnendra Vikas Kanungo and Sri Hiten Pandey, who were also devotees and were attending the Patachakra. It was not a regular Patachakra, but they were generally coming there to offer their prayer on their way back from office. way back. Fortunately for me, one day I was also late in office, and I had come with them in Mr. Amar Singh's car and had my life's first darshan of the mother and Sri Aurobindo in that room. At, at that time, one Mr. Narsingh Rath was the town administrator and occupying the temporary building number 1 adjacent to our area, which is now occupied by the Cultural Academy. In course of time, he was transferred to the head office at Ranchi, and again, fortunately for us, the town administration department also came under Mr. Amar Singh. After he vacated the house, the Ispat Central Library was shifted to that building. At that stage, Mr. Amar Singh earmarked the corner room of that building and shifted the temporary Patachakra to that room. The door from inside the building to that room was closed, and a suitable door to outside was constructed. Thus, the study circle had been functioning very conveniently at that place with effect from 15/8/1961. Fortunately for us, there was a spacious lawn adjacent to that room where we were holding all our conferences and meetings whenever we had guests from outside, including Ashram, Babaji Maharaj, Prapati Ji, Manoj Das, etc. But gradually, the study circle increased in size and strength. The membership increased reasonably high, and with the blessings of the mother, it met regularly once a week on every Thursday between 7 to 8 p.m. The activities were mostly confined to celebration of the 4 darshan days at that time, when the guest speakers were invited from Mandir, Calcutta, Cuttack and Bhubaneswar centers. Mention may be made about late Ladit Mohan Ghosh, retired headmaster of Revansa Collegiate School, whose study circle opened in his house, was the first study circle in Odisha, was regularly visiting us whenever we had requested him. A landmark in the history of Yoga Mandir was the series of week-long talk from 4/11/66 to 9/11/66 by our most revered Professor Manoj Das of the International Center of Education of the Ashram. Talks were arranged in the hall of the Ispat Vidyalaya at Sector 18 every day from 6 to 8 p.m. The hall was packed to capacity, and the audience was listening to him, to his heart-touching talk in pin drop silence. It is worthwhile to mention that Sri A.N. Banerjee IS, the then General Manager, RSP, was inconspicuously regularly visiting and quietly sitting in the last bench and listening to his speech till the end. Thereafter, people from all strata were attracted towards the towards Sri Aurobindo and the mother, and there was spontaneous response to follow their teachings, so much so that a special railway bogie had to be arranged for travel to Chennai, Pondicherry to meet the demands of over 100 devotees to proceed to Pondicherry for regular darshan on 21st February 1967, Mother's birthday, and two special darshans on 29th February 67 and inauguration, on the date of inauguration of Aurobindo on 28 to 1968. In May 1972, Sri Aurobindo Yoga Mandir organized a week-long program to celebrate the birth centenary of Prabhu Sri Aurobindo in the same Ispat Vidyalaya lecture hall, Sector 18. On this occasion, the mother had graciously given the following message: read Sri Aurobindo and follow his discipline. On this occasion, about 100 delegates from different parts of Orissa participated in the celebration, which was addressed by the following eminent sadhaks from the Ashram: Sri Navjat, Sri Udar Pinto, Sri Girish Joshi, Professor Hrudanand Rai, Dr. Raghunath Pani, Sardar Amar Singh from Bhubaneswar and Cuttack. Ever since the organization was registered, the members were very seriously contemplating for starting an integral school at Rourkela to impart education by adopting the free progress system outside the ashram in order to develop the vital, mental, physical and psychic and spiritual aspect of a child as followed in the ashram school. With the profound grace of the mother, the authorities of RSP allotted two old vacant houses earlier occupied by RSP officers during the construction phase, our present location, for running the school as per our requirement. Thereafter, our prayer was placed before the mother through Sri Girish Joshi for permission to start the school in spite of our several difficulties and shortcomings for running an integral school outside the ashram. We were extremely fortunate to have mother's kind permission and blessings to start the school, which she was very kind to have named as Sri Aurobindo's Rourkela School, a unique privilege for us. Thereafter, the school was inaugurated on the birthday of the mother on 21st February 1973. In order to garner resources to meet the extremely difficult financial situation faced at that time, we had opened two grocery shops, one in the premises of Yoga Mandir and another in Sector 7, Atachaki, allotted to us by RSP authorities, which paid very good dividend. Besides, we earned substantial amount through distribution of control items allotted to us by Sri Srinivas Rath IS, the then ADM Rourkela, who was a devotee himself. However, after the initial setback, both financially as well as acceptability of the system, it got stabilized in due course of time, the school got affiliated to ICSE New Delhi in 1988 and reached the 10th standard in 1989 and doing very well. And the results have been quite encouraging, generally above 90% in first division and the rest in second division. We have opened +2 classes in different branches in the new block constructed for the purpose with requisite provision for library, laboratory and other requisites in the year 2008. A few of our shining boys passed out from our school have gone abroad for better jobs, higher education. One example is Sri Vardhan Patnaik, son of our late revered Khamapa, who is in a coveted position in Los Angeles, USA. There are a few more such cases whose details we are trying to collect. One Pragati Rani Ghosh of our school was topper in +2 science exam in the entire region of Odisha and Chhattisgarh zone in 1917. Many of our passed out boys and girls could secure admission in prestigious universities, colleges, passed out from there and are well placed in different companies in India and abroad. Their particulars also we are trying to collect. Our students take active parts in different school competitions with debates, song, essay writing, quiz competition, literate competition, literature competition, and secured prizes. Our boys and girls regularly take part in the March Past on 26th January and 15th August, along with others, at ISPA Stadium and secure best performance trophies. We are very sorry for not having been able to provide hostel facilities so far for the willing students. We are on the efforts and expect to do so as early as possible. There was great enthusiasm and interest among all members, particularly the ladies folk, for installation of relics of Prabhu Sri Aurobindo at Rourkela, for which everyone was constantly praying. Our most revered Babaji Maharaj was also encouraging us whenever we meet him in Ashram to expedite our efforts for installation of the sacred relics. Ultimately, the Mother granted our prayer and the sacred relics was carried by revered Champaklal ji from Ashram to Bhubaneswar on 10/4/88, which was brought here by Sri Niranjan Patnaik, the then Cabinet Minister Odisha, to Rourkela in a special plane on 11/4/88, received ceremoniously at the airstrip by late Sri Bhagirathi Panigrahi, then the then MP, in guard of honor was presented by Odisha police and carried up to Yoga Mandir in an open jeep. Ovation by waiting crowds was paid all through the route and finally placed with honor in a specially decorated school hall for the night which was guarded by a few devotees all through the night. Next day, that is the golden day, 12/8/1988, at 5 p.m., all the ladies, numbering about 40, who had been constantly praying for the relics, were lined up from the hall up to the Samadhi, and each one of them was given the opportunity of paying homage individually to the relics and pass it on to the next. The last person in the queue was Mr. Tarabdar, the then managing director of Rourkela Steel Plant, who ultimately passed it on to revered Champaklalji for installation. Passed on to ultimately. It was really a unique and vibrant, thrilling scene to feel and watch. With the kind and benevolent personal efforts of Sri Bharat Bhushan Mohanty, ex-president of Yoga Mandir, a befitting permanent roof on the Samadhi platform and a meditation hall were constructed in 1992, and Yoga Mandir was finally shifted to the newly constructed meditation room. Another landmark in the history of the Yoga Mandir was leasing out of the land measuring 3.05 acres by RSP and Government of Orissa in favor of Sri Aurobindo Yoga Mandir, and an agreement was signed on 24/12/2004 to that effect. In order to overcome the problem of shortage of accommodation for our guests during functions, we have constructed 2 floors above the service center building with all facilities, which goes a long way to provide reasonably comfortable accommodation for our guests. In course of time, the mosaic floor of the Samadhi was improvised, and marble floor and the surrounding area and the passage, etc., were improvised. With the grace and kind permission of the Mother, we are conducting 4 classes on the sacred relics of Sri Aurobindo, that is Savitri, Life Divine, Essay on the Gita, and Synthesis of Yoga. Our most respected and very senior sadhak, Sri B.N. Ghosh, who has very deep studies on Savitri and Life Divine, leads the classes on Savitri and Life Divine, whereas our young and promising, highly talented Ranjit Das, who is considered to be a divine gift to Rourkela, takes classes on Essay on Gita and Synthesis of Yoga. I would like to say that these classes are very highly beneficial and will not be available anywhere else. It is worthwhile to mention that the current activities of the Yoga Mandir are conducted in a very systematic manner as follows. With the sincere efforts of our senior member Brahmananda Bhai, the weekly study circle in Yoga Mandir is conducted on every Thursday between 7 to 8 in a very systematic manner, starting with meditation recitation from Durga Stotra, reading from Babaji Maharaj Grantha by Sister Bhagya Sethi, explanation from Synthesis of Yoga by Sri Ranjit Das, recitation from Savitri, prayers and meditation, and ending with meditation with Mother's music. Announcement, if any, on Yoga Mandir affairs is made by Panda Bhai. Besides, regular study circles are also conducted on every darshan days with relevance of the day being placed in details by Panda Bhai and Ranjit Bhai. The various activities of the sales center, sales cum service center, reception center are very systematically and effectively managed by Brahmananda Bhai, assigned, assisted by Sri B. Das and some other members. Every day, early morning, Samadhi decoration is conducted by a number of ladies and gentlemen coming all the way from Chand, Basanti, Koel Nagar and different sectors, led by Sister Bhagya Sethi in a most befitting manner. Needless to say that visitors, including our guests from Ashram, used to say that our Samadhi is next only to the ashrams. With the persistent and sincere efforts of Ratnakar Bhai, the Mother's Garden is able to produce sufficient different kind of flowers in all seasons in abundance required for decoration of the Samadhi. Navachetana, the ladies' wing of the Yoga Mandir, is very effectively managed by Sister Nalini Prabha Patnaik, President, assisted by Srimati Rita Patnaik. Earlier, they used to produce mixture and household products for kitchen, which was very highly appreciated and was much in demand, very much in demand in all quarters. I would request them to kindly consider the feasibility of reviving the same. I feel I will be failing in my duty if I do not make a mention about the sincerity and sacrifices made by late Jagabandhu Das, founder member and the then secretary of the Yoga Mandir for long years by sparing his maximum of his time and energy in Yoga Mandir affairs, practically ignoring his duty towards his family. I would also like to pay my respectful homage to the following esteemed ex-members of the organization for their outstanding contribution during their lifetime. Sarvashri Hiranya Kumar Mahanti, Jagabandhu Das, Ramesh Chandra Patnaik, Motilal Patnaik, Niranjan Pal, Vivek Mahanti, Ramesh Prasad, Srimati Soyalwala Prasad, Aniruddha Acharya, Vireshwar Das, Khyama Manjari Patnaik, Brij Mohan Panigrahi, Brij Narayan Panigrahi, Sachidananda Patnaik, Golok Bihari Panda, Shidhar Pati, Veer Keshwar Mohanty, Padmanabh Karo, Dibakar Panda, Gauranga Mahapatra, and lastly, Sri S.K. Rath. I would also like to mention that the following active members of our organization who have made immense contribution for the organization have now become disabled and unable to come to Yoga Mandir even for darshan. Dr. Ashok Mohanty, M.K. Das, K.C. Sahu, P.K. Padi, J.C. Mallik. Our earnest prayer to Mother for their recovery and restoration of strength. Kitchen and dining hall. After the construction of the new building, new creation, the activities of kitchen and dining arrangements have been very much streamlined and improvised with the sincere efforts of Sri Chittaranjan Nandi and a few other enthusiasts. During the function days, the services of our volunteers and school teachers and staff of the activities are also very much encouraged. Sath, the managing committees of the Yoga Mandir and the school under the leadership of Srimati Dr. Jyotsna Patnaik, President, and Dr. Prashanta Kumar Patra, Secretary, are functioning very effectively with the help and support of the members of the Yoga Mandir and the principal and the teachers of the school. The management and safeguard of finance of the Yoga Mandir and the school is very well taken care of by Brahmananda Bhai, treasurer of our organization. Before I conclude, I would like to thank. Lastly, I offer my profound gratitude to Sri Aurobindo and the Mother for this great opportunity given to me to place facts before all of you. I also express my sincere thanks to my sister, Dr. Jyotsna Patnaik, and my brother, Dr. Prashanta Patro, for their very insistence, for their inspiration to me for giving this talk.